Syed, you can.
Good morning. Yep.
Everyone can start.
Can you see me now? Yeah. Okay. Let's start the session then. So, good morning, everyone. Myself, Sayadnan here, and we have our two other alums, which is Soumya and Srinivasan. And I just started my introduction. So, myself, Sayadnan, I'm originally from Bangalore, and I completed my graduation last year. And while completing my graduation, I was in my fifth semester when I joined Alma Beta's course, and I got placed as soon as I got out of college. I spent around 3 to 4 months in Alma Beta, and then after 2 months of Alma X training, I got placed, and now I am a business data analyst in a company known as Gyantin, which is a fintech company. It provides education loans, and nothing much more about myself. I would like our alums Soumya and Srinivasan to introduce themselves. Soumya, if you would like to go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Hello, everyone. So, a bit of my introduction, Sir has given, but I would like to extend some of it. Currently, I'm working as lead assistant manager with EXL. It's a consultancy based out of.
I think we lost Soumya.
I hope I'm now.
Yes, you are audible now.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I've been working here from last 1 year and for several clients. And prior to that, I was placed with Paisa Bazaar Marketing and Consulting. That was directly from Alma Beta. Um, Before that, I was placed in Ericsson Global India right from my college. That was a core company for me. Yeah, and probably from there, my story began with Alma Beta. Yes.
Great. Srinivasan, would you like to go?
Yeah, sure, sure. Yeah, hi. I think some of the attendees may know me before, but I would like to give me a short brief introduction about myself. Myself is Sri Srinivasan. I'm coming from Tamil Nadu, Palani. I completed my graduation on 2023 in May. I was started journey with Almabatter on 2022 June, where I was starting my learning journey of full stack web development. I completed the course on December, and once I completed, I started for all my X. And before completing my graduation, undergraduation BBA, I got a job with a company called Madden. I'm working as a full stack developer at Madden.
That's great. So, as you know, it's a podcast, and we'll be asking a few questions. So, let me start up with the questions as soon as possible. So, Soumya, would you like to talk about your? Of course, you gave your introduction, but you like to talk about your journey, not just through Almabet, but also your general journey. What courses did you did, bachelor's or BTech, whatever you did? Of course, I know, but let the attendees know what you did and how was your journey. How did you discover data science? Why did you really drop into this field? And how did Alma Better help you in that?
Yeah. So, I am a 2017 pass out. I was doing my BTech with electronics and communication. In the last year of my college, the only target I had to get placed. Nothing else. I didn't know more than this, anything less than this. I thought I want to get placed. Accordingly, I did the relevant preparations. I gave the aptitude tests, etc., and then got placed in a core company, uh, a telecom company. So, wherein the work, initially it was okay when I got to learn few things, but then it was getting very mundane and repetitive. And
Yes, you're audible now.
yeah, so as we all know, the starting packages of a company wherein we get placed from, I won't say I was from any tier one or tier two colleges. I was from a very normal college. So the packages which we were offered were minimal. So I started exploring things like which area gives the best packages or wherein we can grow. And uh, the highlight was I didn't want to code. I did not like coding, or I found it really difficult. So I used to Google stuff that how do I switch company, or how do I get better package without coding or with less coding. So not too much I got, but then from some friends and on social media platforms, I just saw Alma better. First of all, I would like to tell everyone that I'm from the first batch of Alma Better. So I got
Wow,
to
even I didn't know that. It's an honor then. Nice.
yeah. So as we were from the first batch, we got chance to directly get in touch with the founders. So um, I got to talk to founder, and he told me that you will have to go through a test, do the relevant preparations for that. And of course, that was a coding test. So I took 1 month to prepare, and I guess I took that on myself that I need to clear this test so that I can get into Alma better. Because whatever the founders told me, I found it really convincing. So I did the relevant prep, and then I got into Alma better. And this was the easy part till now. Now the actual journey begins. As soon as I entered Alma better, I was already in a job, and after working for 8 to 9 years for my company, I had to again, the Alma Better expected me to at least give 2 hours to the live classes, and post that 2 to 3 hours for the assignments. So yes, one thing which I kept in mind was that if Alma Better, if the founders and the team is making so many efforts just to make me through this, then I should not be the one who should be backstepping. I should even equally put in the efforts. So, yeah, I had put in the efforts and followed the direction and whatever the mentors told me. And finally, after 5 months or so, I would say, I went into Alma X and started preparing for interviews. And around hundreds of interviews I would have given within Alma Better itself for practice. Post that, the fear which we all have regarding sitting in an interview and facing the interviewer, that was minimalized. And then I faced uh, the first company which I faced, I got placed into it. Yeah, that was the journey.
I think we lost her, but we've heard it all. Srinivasan, Samir, do you have anything more to say?
Yeah, yeah. So after I got placed, post that I was always in touch with the team, always in touch with Alma Better. I got to learn new things, and because of them, I could again switch with a better package and get into another company. That is my journey in short. Yeah.
Well, that's really great, Samia. It was really interesting to know that you were among the first batch students, and your journey was nice. Srinivasan, me and Soumya, we are from the data science background. So we would like you to step in and give us a hint of how your web development background came in, and how was your journey? What did you choose? And all of your ups and downs, what choices, what actual reasons did force you to make these choices to become a web developer? What was your reason of choosing Alphabet? All of these things, your journey, just put it out, please.
Yeah, sure, sir. Basically, I'm from BBA background, and I'm starting my undergraduation, I was doing my chartered accountant course, and I wasn't able to complete the intermediate level of 8 papers, and I have able to complete only 7 papers out of 8. So at the time, I was in my UG second year. So at the time, I was trying to change the domain. Instead of going with account side, we can go with software related side. So while I was searching, there are more the institutes which is based in Coimbatore and Chennai. But the specific thing which I did like with Alma is the pay after placement program, which helps the people who are from backgrounds are not much good. So at the same time, the second year I have in 2022 June I have joined in Alma as I'm the third batch for the development batch. So after joining, I have started my journey of learning from basic. Actually, where before that I even don't know what is HTML and how the web thing works in a very basic way also. After joining only, I get to know everything from Alma Butter. And after the journey of Alma Butter, teaching part course completes on 8 months, nearly 7 to 8 months took the time for me to complete the course, where I have learned the basic things to intermediate level of front end to back end and everything. And we have did 2 to 3 projects in the course itself within the 7 to 8 months of duration. The same time we were be learning the things from the institute which they are teaching in daily classes. And after the completion of that, on December 2022, I have completed the course and where I'm doing an interview for Almax Badge 1, W Wipro 1, the first batch. I got selected for the batch number 1, and there are 3 students along with me. We were in the first batch and we started our journey towards the Almax placement career, how to get a job in a company and everything. In Almax, we have learned more things from the mentors. The mentors are basically from top tech companies where they teach you more things which is related to the industrial standards. But in Alma course, duration of 7 to 8 months, we'll be learning only basic to intermediate levels, where we can ask the doubts and do our work. Now, coming to this Alma journey, the mentors will guide us in very detailed way. They will give us a hint how to work in an industrial way. So that helped me a lot, and there will be business communication session which will help you to increase your communication skills. So overall, the journey went around 3 to 4 months. At last month of fourth month, I got the opportunity to attend interviews nearly 7 to 8 companies. But due to some restrictions and the location, I have chosen only the one company which is called Madden. Here I'm working as a React Native developer. But coming to here, actually on a React, but switching to React Native is also helpful. But all better in the last point of time when there are the companies which is they are looking for a React Native developer. So they helped in last minute how to switch to same React Native from React to React Native. It's not much difficult, but the mentors guide us in that way. Or we can easily switch from React to React Native in that case. So it will help me a lot, and my colleagues also now be working in React and React Native technologies. Only. This is all a journey with Amateur in short.
Wow, that's really great. I'm amazed that we have two first batch students, the first batch of data science, Soumya, first batch student of data web development, Srinivasan. That's really great, guys. Also, since you talked about your journey in Alma Better, I would like to also know what was your reason of selecting Alma Better? Well, there might be many reasons. There were many courses. There are still many courses in the market. Why did you specifically choose Alma? Like, what stood out to you? What stood out about the course? Is it something about the way they teach? Is it something about their program? What was it? Soumya, if you would like to go first.
Yeah. So, as you mentioned, there are many courses in the market, but there were 2, 3 things which were very unique with Alum which I personally found. Uh, Wherein all the other courses or other institutes may be marketing their stuff recklessly. Alma Better seemed very genuine to me. They were marketing on the basis of the data. They were backed with data and stats. They were backed with proofs, and only then uh, they were promoting themselves. And secondly, I got the chance to talk to the founder himself. That was something very convincing. and their unique model of play after placement, placement. That was something which made me build a faith for them. So, as we are not paying them upfront, there is no chance that there will be any backstepping or any trading us. So these were the unique things which I found and written, and I found them, Jason.
Great, great. That was in my case as well. I was just going through a few courses, and I saw Alma Better, and this pay after placement program really stood out to me. And also that I looked into their syllabus. I can talk about data science. So I looked into syllabus, and as you might know, Soumya, we have other courses where they do a lot of things, but they just touch the surface. For example, if you want to learn unsupervised machine learning, they might go on the basic stuff, they might go on the surface. But what Alma Beta does is it goes into the depths. It has like a complete section for unsupervised learning, whereas other courses
Yeah.
don't have that. Other courses just mention what unsupervised learning is, how you can do it, what are the other libraries that you can use, what are the other techniques you can use. But Alma Better, what it does is it goes into those techniques. It spends time. It has visual experiments. It has, and as you said, it helps you learn coding as well. So yeah, that is what stood out to me as well. It was great knowing Samya. Srinivasan, what stood out to you for the web development course?
Yes, as someone mentioned, there are more competitors in the market compared to there are more institutes where we can see in online and offline. But coming to Alma Butter, there are more institutes which they are expecting to pay some amount of lakhs, minimum of 2 to 3 up to 4 at the beginning of while the student joining. So, but coming to Alma Butter, the play of placement program which helps a lot. It's hope so for everyone. So at the time we need to pay only an initial amount of X amount. At the time and when we are going with the Alma X also they will be refunding the amount. At the time that will be helpful for me. Uh, and also they teach it in a very elaborate way. The other institutes were covering the syllabus within 3 to 4 months. But here Alabama covering the syllabus of minimum they are taking 7 months. But I was analyzing why these institutes are taking only 3 to 4 months, but Alabama is taking minimum of 7 months. I came to know that there are some type of institutes where they're covering the syllabus, keeping the classes in every day, and they are trying to push the students to complete as soon as possible. But coming to Alabama scenario, they're keeping a class only 4 days a week, and also there is a doubt resolution session in Saturday. If the students are willing to attend, they can attend, or they can book for a mentorship session. So at the time, I thought it will be helpful for everyone, and it will be good for me also. So there are some difference, and when a student is learning from basic, especially to my scenario, I'm from as a BBA and CA background, I don't know anything about coding. So coming to here, the time taken of 7 to 8 months, but I learned everything in basic to intermediate level way. And some of the time when I came into our Max program, the mentors has pushed me to learn DSA concepts, which is most important in a first round of every company. So at the time I don't know, I was good in development side where I can develop something, I can do some project. I was good in that. But when I came into Almax, I was came to know that I'm not good in coding side. So at the time, the method of pushing me is the way how you to learn. This is a very easy concept that pushed me from the beginning of after 10 days of joining Alberta, they started pushing. At second and third month, I was good in a basic to intermediate basic level to solve basic coding problems. That way, they it's helping me a lot. And Alberta AMA session with alumni and founder. They were having those sessions frequently, twice or thrice a month. That helped me a lot. While seeing the sessions, I got some idea. Okay, we can join. That'll be something good for us. Before joining, I thought that. But coming to the other institutes in the market, they may charge high. They may complete the portions within 3 to 4 months as soon as possible. But it won't help for the students specifically to non-technical background students. Within 3 to 4 months, they can learn, but they are not sufficient to do some amount of projects also. If they do the projects also, they may help with some help from others, like roads or friends and brothers and so on. So in such a way, I thought Anamata is a very good choice to go with.
That's great. So yeah, let's move on to the next question. So, different skills are required for both jobs. So, would you like to focus on the skills that you had to learn, the skills that you think now that you're experienced in your particular fields? What would you think are actually the major skills that that beginners need to focus on? Samya?
Yeah. So there are two types of skills basically in data science industry, which I believe are required. One is the tech stack, and the other one is the thought process. I would say you look at the data and you should be able to tell a story with it. You should be able to draw conclusions. You have to think whenever you look at the data, you have to think what is the requirement out of it and what is the optimal way you can reach through it. Now, first of all, you will have to think of the way and then use your technical skills for that. So, take, I've learned Python. The first thing, important thing which I learned with Alum was Python. Later, for visualizing tools, I've learned Power BI there. I've learned SQL and a little bit of Tableau as well. And yeah, these were the major tech stacks. And probably out, apart from these, the most important was how to think how to approach a problem. That is something which I've learned in Alma Better. And earlier, when we got our assignments or projects, I would say I personally was unable to proceed with the problem. I used to get stuck. I would just do the bare minimum. But then with mentors and with guidance, they taught me how to approach a problem. When you look at the data, and from that point to reaching, making some sense out of it. Of course, in between using whatever Python, SQL, or whatever is required, whatever platforms you are given. So yeah, I learned Python, SQL, analytical thinking, and some visualization tools at a moment.
That's great. Also, you might have used it in your workplace a lot more than what you learned in Alma Better. So, what would be those few pieces of advice that you would like to give to a beginner? If you keep this in check, you'll be easily able to apply these in your real-time job, or you'll be easily able to learn these things. What would those pieces of advice be?
So basically, in the very initial days of your career, first 2, 3, 4 years, probably you will be getting to wrangle the data using Python, SQL, and visualize using some tools. So that time keeping the basics handy. So these are actually languages with syntaxes. So if you do not use them for some time, there will be days where you will not be required to use them. It's not that you log into your system and you will start coding in Python or you start visualizing instantly. There will be days when you're not required to code, you're just brainstorm. So even on those days, please keep a check that you have your skills handy. You keep practicing stuff. Consistency, I would say. The right word would be consistency. Be consistent with what you have learned because we tend to forget because more or less these are syntaxes. If you're clear with the logic. So first of all, be clear with the logic and later on syntax. You always have chance to Google stuff at your work. So you will be always free to do that. So yeah, keep your basics clear and be consistent. This is what I would like to say.
That's great. Srinivasan, would you like to drop in the same question?
Yeah. Basically, the important thing where everyone will get a good job in the market, in the first and second one, they will test the basic is the only thing. And coming to a better scenario, they teach you the basics in very good level. There is no mistake from their side. We need to learn the things and coming to development side, I don't know about data science way, but the development side, the consistency is the key as everyone said before. When the UI part which we are imagining in our mind or which we have seen in other website, we can't able to develop that at the beginning stage. It may take a couple of months or years also. As for my personal journey, when I would like to develop something in a good UI way by seeing, for example, websites, we need to develop this kind of thing. It will be very difficult to develop in such a same UI part because there are some more libraries which we didn't study in Alabama or in outside also. Alabama teach you the basic level in good way, but they won't teach you every libraries and other stuff. Coming to CSS is the important thing of designing your page, but they will teach you Bootstrap, Material UI, these types of frameworks for the CSS. But they didn't teach you other things. We need to learn those things which will help us to improve our skills furthermore. And if you need any help, Alberta care, we can become mentorship session. The Alberta may guide you. The mentor may guide you in such a way you can learn these things, which will help you to boost your getting in a good employment opportunity also. This is the way which I have gone through. And coming to backend side of web development, you won't get a logic in the beginning stage because the backend part is the crucius crucius role which plays in industrial level the database and backend server side. Thinking logical way of creating a server response and everything is not a easy way at a beginning stage. So what I would like to tell is that consistency we need to learn and we need to practice on those things. We need to create some website. We need to handle in a website with full stack there. Not even creating a website is in the front end we can create it. But coming to back end side, getting a records and everything is not the case as we imagine. So we need to practice on those things. I have practiced the project which Alfred gives to me, and apart from that, I have practiced some other projects by doing myself, so which helps me. And all the time when I'm getting some doubts, I will be looking mentorship session, which then mentors help me a lot to go in the way. They will help you in industrial levels. For example, I need to host a server. They may tell you that these are the websites where they're giving a free service to host the server, so we can use that. Like GoDaddy, they are getting a money, but there are some other websites they won't get a money. They are providing this types of service at free of cost. They have guided me these things, so it's helping me a lot.
That's great. Srinivasan, so you mean not just experiencing front end, experiencing back end also is the key, right?
Yeah, yes. Finally, as we are a full stack developer, we need to know both the front end and back end. In front end, you
Okay.
can learn the things by practicing, by seeing some UI of the website or keeping your mind. But coming to side by side logic is somewhat critical to the beginning stage developers. So we need to keep on practicing those things. We should not hesitate to raise the question in the mentorship session or in the class time, which is held in 4 days a week also. We can raise a question with the instructors. They will help you in the class, or else they will help you in last 5 to 10 minutes also.
Got your point. Srinivasan, now that you've mentioned it already, I would also like to ask you, for these particular things, there are different frameworks. There are a lot of frameworks. What would your best or recommended tech stack would be, which is the most popular nowadays in the job market? It would help our attendees get a sense of what they should be putting their time on. Any tech stack. You can cover all tech stacks from full front end to back end, everything. What is your favorites and what would you recommend, which is going the most popular nowadays? Please do that.
Yeah. Now, my favorite is that I will talk only non stack because the thing is that as coming to full stack, everyone needs to learn HTML, CSS, and CSS frameworks and everything. As this is the basic for an front end development side. So coming to apart from this, in front end, we can use AngularJS, Vue.js instead of React technology which is developed in the Facebook. So, and coming to backend side, once you learn JavaScript in a very depth, in very high level, you can handle everything in the front end also, in backend also. In React.js, everything is JavaScript, but only we need to study some of the concepts in React.js. So, one language, if we know a single language in a high level, we can understand if we have good knowledge of that language, we can go with JavaScript learn stack, which helps you to learn JavaScript for front-end web development. We can use React.js. If you want to switch to Angular or Vue.js, we can use the both if you know JavaScript. And coming to backend side, by keeping out JavaScript as you learn for a front-end, if you have good amount of skills and knowledge in JavaScript programming scripting language, you can go with Node.js and Express.js of the framework of Node.js. As in the market has of now, every companies they are following their different strategies. My company may follow another strategy, but if the company required you to switch to other programming language and learn these things, you will be ready to switch to those programming language. For example, in Python, the company is requiring you to learn use backend for Django and Flask. We will be ready to do that because the thing is that if the company requires, we need to switch it. We cannot tell them, I won't learn, I'm a more stack developer. We cannot say in the way. As a developer, if the company requires, we need to be in a dynamic game. We should not stick to a particular thing. These things are also trained me in Alumni, which also helped me. Actually, I'm a React.js developer, but in our company, they required me for, they asked me to switch to React Native. So they helped me, and I was also putting some efforts to switch to React Native, which is also helped me. The one language which you learn, if you are in a good stage, it will be better to move with those things.
Okay, so you mean having a base in a single language is good, but you'll have to be open, right? Your options need to be open. You'll need to be open to change. You'll need to
Yes.
be flexible with these languages.
Yeah,
And
sure.
moreover, it's almost the same. It's just a syntax that is different, I think, right?
Yeah, syntax is the different, and there are some other things. If you're coming
Some
to
fundamental,
Django, yeah, that is the basic thing. Yeah.
yeah. So, guys, main point is you'll have to be flexible. Focusing on JavaScript as a beginning is a good idea, I would say, isn't it, Srinivasan?
Yeah, because that is the basic thing for front-end web development. JavaScript, HTML, CSS, these are the basic skills. Who are on the
Mhm.
front-end developer, they mostly use JavaScript as a full language. They mostly don't use Python in the sense, they mostly they use JavaScript.
Got it, got it. So JavaScript is the key, guys, but you'll need to be flexible, of course. Now, Soumya, I would like to ask you a very interesting question, which haunted me for days and days and days. So, web development, the side of web development is really, rigid and it is already defined well enough. But as you might know, data science it came as a buzzword. It's existing as a hype even now, and most of the roles are not well defined. I recently saw a job posting which mentioned that you need high 4 years of experience, 5 years of experience in a particular framework, which was invented only 3 years ago, if you know what I'm talking about. So in these kind of things, it's very difficult to know what a data scientist actually does, what data analyst actually does. It differs from company to company. In fintech industry, it might be different. In a product-based company, it might be different. So what would you, I mean, how would you define it in a way that would help our viewers to choose what skills should one possess before choosing a particular thing? I would like to talk about only the 3 or 4 major things, which is a business analyst, a data analyst, a data scientist, or a machine learning engineer. These are the four main things, main fields, I would say. So, what would you say is different about these 4 fields, and what qualities should a person have to go into each of these fields?
Okay. So, these are all business analysts, data analysts, machine learning engineer, data scientists, which are not very similar roles, I would say. They are very different in their own ways. So, I would begin with a business analyst. So, a business analyst is expected to understand the business properly, as in not expected to wrangle around the data much. But if you would have heard about data governance, then that is something which comes under business analyst role. So it is more of managing where the data is coming from, where it is going, and after that, keeping a track of its storage. So that way, I would say more uh, focused on the business part of it, totally understanding each, talking to different stakeholders and understanding the flow of data. That I would say is more focused field of business analyst. Data analyst is actually expected to track the data and bring some insights from it. Any problem statement given, let's suppose like monitor performance of a particular in an IPL series. So monitor performance of a particular team. Then you have to rank around with the data and bring insights from it, which are making sense and will help in promoting the business. And data science and machine learning engineers are a bit different from these. A data scientist is expected to be a full, they should know the front front end part of it and back end part of it both.
Soumya, I'm really sorry to interrupt, but your voice is not clear. Could you switch?
Um, is it better now?
Yes, it's better now.
Yeah. Talking about a data scientist is expected to know to make a model and to implement a model, both these sides of it, the front end part of it and the back end part of it. And coming to the machine learning engineer, they should be able to build the models. As in, I haven't worked in that role particularly, a machine learning engineer. I have slightly covered data science part because I've uh, implemented one or two modules, but I haven't completely from end to end built the module. So I will not be the very right person to tell about it. But yeah, more or less being in the industry, this is what I've understood about it.
Great. So it's more of, as a beginner, you should focus on everything and prepare your fundamentals and see where your job placement takes you. Right.
Yeah.
But what would those fundamentals be like? As I prepared for my interviews, I prepared for everything. I also prepared for machine learning models. I also prepared for visualization tools, which would help me in data analyst roles. And I also prepared for some business scenarios, business use cases, which would help me as a business analyst. So ultimately, I was placed as a business analyst, but those fundamentals really were important, even though in my job. Though I'm a business data analyst, I also focus on machine learning concepts. I also take in data science concepts, bring in forecasting, bring in time series casting, all these things. So what would those fundamentals would be? What would you say, ki, haan, bhai, this is one of the most important fundamentals, focus on these, and you'll be able to make your way through any of these four major streams?
The fundamentals which helped me get through the interviews were, so I was basically asked Python, SQL, post that the concepts of machine learning. They'll be asked everywhere, regardless of the role. Because I've gave so many interviews and I was asked the concepts everywhere. So you should be clear with the concepts. You have to deliver them confidently to the interviewer. You are expected to do that. Obviously, you will not have experience of such things. Not possible to have them in the early stages of your career, but you should know the concepts. And yeah, Python and SQL you can get hands on. That you will get hands on if you are in the course. If you are at administrator, so that thing you will be hands on. But machine learning concepts are something you have to understand them theoretically and yeah, know them properly. So I would say Python, SQL, and the fundamental concepts.
Yep, I will also vouch for that. So you'll also have to understand the concept. Correct me if I'm wrong, Soumya. As a beginner, it is not expected of you to know everything, but at least the basics. And when I talk about basics, I mean you know about machine learning models and you know them in depth. You understand them. You don't just say ki, how gradient descent is something that you used to find the minimum function. No, that is not what it is. You'll also have to know how does gradient descent work. A simple example would be, which I was asked in my interview, is the correlation matrix. What do you mean when there is high correlation between variables? What do you mean, or how does randomness get affected when high correlation exists? So you need to understand concepts in depth and not just go on definitions. So don't understand everything that is available, because there are a lot of things to do nowadays. Focus on the fundamentals and focus on them in depth. Know about them, understand them, and not just the definitions. That is what I would say. Srinivasan, we've already heard from you. So I would like to go to the next question. Ki, in this particular job market, we all know we are facing a bit of a recession actually. So what would those skills be that would make anyone stand out from other people? It is very hard to stand out. So what would those skills be? For this, I would like Srinivasan to go first. Srinivasan, as a web developer, would you, if you are interviewing a newbie, what would you expect them to have, or what would you want them to have for them to stand out from the crowd?
Yeah. Actually, what I would like to say is that the basic is the one thing which every company sees, and mostly while interviewing for me also they have seen what is the basic thing. The first two rounds will be going into first one will be mostly a coding round, and second one will be and third round. The both rounds will be mostly on testing the basic steps. The second one will be mostly testing the basics, what the student and the candidate mentioned in their resume, what how they are good in the explanation of the project, what they mentioned in the resume, they have did it in the elevator or other institutions, and also in the GitHub. The the hiring manager or the technical person in the companies may go through their resumes in that way. They will only ask the questions, start asking the questions in a very basic level. How you approach this project? For example, in Alum, we did a project, a future project. It is called a research bus, where that is similar to a reverse side where we can book a bus in that kind of thing. We didn't implement the payment gateway and all, as there are more skills, there are more things which you need to go into the payment gateway implementations. So apart from that, up to that, in my when I'm attending and giving an interview to the 3 to 4 companies, they majorly ask me with the project what I did. And the first question they given me some basic level questions, ask it, and then in final they ask me about the project. What are the project you did? How you approach this project? In research project, they ask me a question like how you approach this project and what are the things you follow. We need to be very elaborate in that way. We have to explain to that interviewer, this is the way which I have handled this project, and these are all the steps in React. These are all the folder structures which I have maintained to build these type of projects. And this is how I have maintained my backend. So this is where I'm storing the data for this project in a backend server. And the project of the reservoirs where we are hosted in, as I already mentioned, there are some other websites to provide free of cost of hosting servers and websites. We have hosted both the front end part and back end part in a separate servers. They have asked me a question in that thing also. For example, if the users are hitting the server in frequent way, there is a concept called load balance. In that kind of thing, they have asked me. In that point of time, we are not aware of that as we are a pressure to the market. So the interviewer told me that this is what the load balance concept is, where the customers are hitting at the same time of the website from various global level. So this is the concept how it works. So we need to be very good in explaining the project and telling the basic things which we know. We should not mention or tell something which is not relevant, not irrelevant to the project. We should tell the things which we know. And also at the same time, the interview may help you. These are some of the interviewers or two interviewers they told me like this is the way which you approach is good, but this is the technology, this is the folder structure in React. If you modify these things, it will be better for you. They're giving me advice also. In these case, the mentors and Almater also helped me. This is the way the company may approach you. You need to go to these things. And apart from this,
Got it.
yeah, apart from this, in the coming to web development, they will see your GitHub profiles, how your way of approach. And also some of the companies may give you a simple API and build something in front end or build something service side in back end. They will ask you to share your screen while the interview is going on and they may ask you to go to things. But the thing is a basic thing they will ask you to do. In that API, they will be having some data, the first name, last name, age, and everything. They will ask you to create a web page using a React or normal HTML, CSS. These are the things which may happen. They will just test whether you know the basic stuff or not. This is the way they will filter. Coming to third round, some of the interviews may expect, and this wholly depends upon the company. If they are giving you a higher package or something, they are more expecting from you. they may expect this third round to be majorly will be somewhat intermediate to high level. In that way, we should be able to answer those questions. If it's wrong or right, we should do put our full efforts to give the answer to those questions. If we didn't try at the beginning stage also, it is not good for us. The interviewer may think that this guy is not trying at all. So in future, if we hire this guy, if we are asking to change it to switch to other technology, how we may do that. So this may create a bad impression. So we should avoid these things. This is the way how they can filter the candidates.
Got it. So you mean ki you'll also have to be, when you do projects, don't just do projects, understand them in details as we were talking about detailed understanding of concepts in machine learning. So you mean that, right? Understanding projects in detail, and also being confident enough to answer anything that is asked about your projects should be a key thing, right?
Yeah, fine. Yeah, what you mentioned is right. They will expect you
Yeah.
these things first. Apart from
Mhm.
these questions, they may expect you to give some simple API and ask you to build the things. Because while explaining, because every interviewer they may know that these are the questions that every institute may try. So let me go with some train me. Let give some API to develop this guy. So they will test in that
Mm.
way. If we are developing such a thing, what they are expecting, they may think that okay, he has some good amount of knowledge in a basic level. We can go more further for external.
Okay, that sounds great. Soumya, would you like to go in and tell us what are those key points that you would like to have
Yeah.
a candidate that would set them apart from the market?
Yeah. So, first of all, I would, I personally think that the resume should be very specific to whatever role it is. So there shouldn't be one set resume, and that should go to every company. You have to modify it according to the role and prepare yourself accordingly. Only
That's a real
then,
great
uh,
advice. That's like second to none.
yeah. So you have to prepare accordingly. If you are appearing for a fintech, probably some basic fintech, there are terminologies which you will have to know. You should know that will be making you stand apart from rest of the audience. And about once, and then this was the process till your resume. Once it gets shortlisted, one important thing is whatever is mentioned in your resume, you should be thorough with it. Please don't ever do this that written something in the resume and you are not aware about it or you're not confident. Um, and so, come to the concepts. If there's a basic concept, let's suppose if someone asks performance metrics, so you should not just be doing the definitions, you should be prepared with some examples. This it really gives a good impact if you are actually if someone asks, let's suppose, what's the difference between precision and recall. Don't just give them the definitions. Prepare in such a way that you can prove that you actually know the concept. It should be very evident to the interviewer that you know the concept. You should not leave a hint or a bit of doubt to the interviewer that you are not knowing the concept. So, yeah, knowing the basics properly, um, being prepared with the resume, and yes, preparing your resume according to the job description. These are the few things which are important, and for sure they will make you stand apart from the rest of the audience.
Great. Yes, I totally agree. One point I would also like to mention is I have seen a few videos where they mention to stand out, you'll have to do something really different. Of course, focusing on topics, focusing on your resumes is done by almost like 10% of the crowd, but be the top 1%, you'll have to do something more different. So what I had gone through is that you can create your own portfolio website if you are a web developer, put in projects where you have a personalized website, you have some beautiful UI and UX, which actually shows the interviewer this guy has put in some work. One thing that helped me was I really configured my GitHub profile in a real good way. I made sure that I had my customized CV or resume ready in my GitHub README page, and I also had those designs which you can add in GitHub, and also you can create your own portfolio website using GitHub Pages, if I'm not wrong. These are some small things that will not take you more than 2 to 3 days, but will really, make you stand out from the crowd. I've also heard the story of a person. I'm not sure where I heard it, but yeah, it goes in such a way. A person was applying for Netflix, and his resume was structured in a way that it represented an episode, and that is usually in a form of episodes that come in Netflix. In the same format, he had his resume, which gave first of all an introduction, a trailer, and then episode one his qualification, episode two his trainings, his projects, those kind of things. So really modifying your CV to your company, and putting yourself out there in the market, people to know, like having own portfolios, giving blogs on Medium, these kind of things really help you stand out. Being active on LinkedIn is also one thing. So yeah, if you do these things, I think it really makes you stand out. Great. So next follow-up question that I have for you guys is, let's suppose I'm a beginner and I want both of you can answer this question, because I think it's a very basic, streamlined question for the whole of the IT field. Be it a data scientist, be it a web developer, what are the places where I can actually search for a job? What are the good places? How do I approach searching for a job? How do I, even start, defining the job market? Srinivasan, if you would like to go first, or Soumya, whoever wants to go first.
I will go.
Yeah.
Coming to the web development, it is a front-end engineer, back-end engineer. We need to build the resume as you both said already. We should keep our resume depends upon the job roles and description. We should not go with a single resume with every type of company. Sometimes the company may filter the candidate depends looking for React JS. Sometimes the company may look for React Native, and some of them may look for only HTML, CSS, JavaScript, normal web page development without using any frameworks of React, Angular, or Vue.js. These type of companies, while we are giving a resume to these type of companies, we should not mention that. We can mention these are the framework which are extra things apart from the roles and description, but we should be aware of that the thing which they mentioned in the roles and description, we know it in a very high level. And the second thing is, while searching for a job, coming to the backend development, we should be very specific to the technologies, because in backend there are various languages and frameworks where every companies in the market they are following right now, and so we should be very strict to that. We should we should not tell that I know JavaScript and Node.js, but I don't know framework of Expo.js. We should not go in such a way, but we should not mention in the resume also. If we are mentioning in the resume the wrong way, we will be eliminated. Or if suppose you got selected in the current job when you are in working stage, you will be facing some difficulties also. So we should be avoided.
Okay. Let me rephrase the question. I wanted to ask you how difficult it is to search through the job market right now, and how efficiently can I do it? What is the most efficient way of going through the job market?
Before going to the efficient job market, we should have a good project and attractive way of resumes and everything in the market. Actually, we should not go with a simple resume and LinkedIn without having a LinkedIn profiles and everything.
Mhm.
In Almax also, they will teach you everything from basic: how to create a
Ah,
LinkedIn profile, how to have a good resume, and how to build your GitHub projects and GitHub profile. In GitHub, we can have our profile also, such a kind of a README file, which will also help to attract in the way. So approaching the jobs in the sense we can approach by going through their official company's career page. Apart from this, we can connect with the connections in LinkedIn. But while connecting a connections in the LinkedIn, we should not directly ask them next company so and so. I have seen a job opening. I need to apply for it. Can you help me? We should not ask in this such a way. We should approach in a very professional way. Then in online, they will give you some template or they will help you in such a case. The business communication coaches may help you. In these things, they will teach you how you need to approach a connection in LinkedIn to ask for a referral in the company. We should not ask them directly, I need a referral. Can you give me? I need to give my interview for these companies. We should not ask
Mhm.
in such a way. So these are the ways we can approach. And second thing is that we can apply job in LinkedIn, but in LinkedIn, the companies which they posted the job, they won't filter by seeing your resume only. They will filter
Okay.
you mostly by seeing your LinkedIn profile also. LinkedIn profile may also plays a very key role. Before they may see your resume, they may see your LinkedIn profile also. We should not mention the things differently. In resume, I have mentioned, for example, I know React, JavaScript, Node.js. But in my resume, I have mentioned it in differently, which is not relevant. It's wholly irrelevant things. In LinkedIn, I have posted my projects a different way, but in my GitHub, there are some other projects, which is not relevant to the same LinkedIn profiles. The interviewer or the candidate, while filtering your resume or the LinkedIn profile visible, they may think that, oh, this guy is telling that he know React and React JS and everything, but the projects which he have mentioned in LinkedIn and GitHub is somewhat not much similar. There are some other language projects also. So these are the things we need to avoid before going into these things.
Got it. Got it. Soumya, you like to go?
Yeah. So first, the resume should be uh, ready in such a way that it should be filtered. There should be the right words which are required so that the it doesn't get shortlisted in the first go itself. So resume should be that ready. That should be well prepared. Post that, the process begins. Now the person can apply on different portals. Talking about me personally, I've got calls from Amjob, Naukri.com, InstaHire, and found it. So I get calls from these whenever I prepare my resume and put them there. Keep your profiles up to date and complete. Um, Post that generally we see, you must have also seen this on LinkedIn when generally someone posts a job, there will be people who will drop a message, I'm interested, if you would have seen that. Yeah. So that is something which is not very desirable. Nobody, there are so many people who will be interested in the job. Do not put I'm interested in that. Approach that person personally, either mail them properly or message them, try to contact them fully. Because as much professional you are, the chances are higher that you are in spotlight. So be professional in that manner. Especially on LinkedIn, be professional whenever you ask for a referral or you see a job posting. Keep a matter ready, what we call cover letter ready, wherein you showcase your skills properly and then send that email with your resume attached to the person. That has worked for me personally, not very sure if for others, but yeah, that works if you have the right skills for the right role. Yeah.
That's very good advice. Yes. So I also face this a lot. Approaching, I see this even today when I see my company interviewers going out for an interview and interviewing people for my field itself, data science. So candidates have a totally different view of how you have to approach people for a referral, how you approach someone who has posted something about a job. You'll have to be professional. You'll have to understand that LinkedIn is a platform of professionals. It is not a friendly platform like Instagram. So you'll have to approach them in a very, very professional way. So approaching people in a professional way on LinkedIn, using different platforms like, as you mentioned, Soumya, Naukri. There are also websites called as, I think it's now called angel.co, earlier called as well found. There are many remote working websites as well.
Yeah.
People, all of you can. It's not just limited
Yeah.
to data science. It is for all tech roles. So you can use them to enhance your research about job market, and also know about your specialties. Why would a company even hire you? Basically, it's about selling yourself to the company. So know what the company requires and know what you can offer them, and make a good proposition so that if there is a good deal, why would a company not hire you? So first of all, build yourself so that you can offer a good deal, and then find a company to whom you would be valuable and which is valuable to you as well. The culture matters. So do that, and I think you'll ace the market, be it data scientist or be a web developer. These are the small things that you will have to focus on.
One
Anyways,
thing I would like to add.
Yep.
You will have to be patient during this process. Do not hurry up. That I message somebody or I mail somebody. And you start expecting results instantly. No, this is going to take few months. In the process, you have to be patient. Keep learning new things. Keep adding it to your resume, so that you just do not focus on the result. Probably you focus on the preparation. Results will automatically start appearing in few months, 2 or 3 months.
Yes. matlab,
That's the minimum wait time I want everyone to expect. 2 or 3 months.
advice can't get better than this, guys. Take this to your heart. Please be patient. I would like to share a story about myself as well. When I was applying for interviews, just like 6 months back, I also reached out to some company CEOs and CFOs, CTOs as well, and I emailed them, I messaged them. I got from Alma Better, I got 2 interviews scheduled. The first interview, I got selected, and I got placed in the first interview only. But before the interview, I had texted a guy, I had mailed a guy, which is a US based company, which is a no code platform for data scientists. I wanted to get into that company. That company, which I messaged 6 months back, has replied to me now. 6 months. So it can take time. It will take time. So you guys will have to be patient. You will have to be, and also there is this concept of, I would like to state as the curse of over preparing. As beginners, you always feel maybe this is not enough. Maybe I have to learn more. Maybe I have to focus more on concepts. You are never completely ready, is what I would say.
That's
You prepare the basics, prepare the fundamentals, and then see, you will know when you've given it your best. After you feel that, don't still be dragging on and on and on. Just start applying, face interviews. Of course, interview fear is a real thing for many people. If you have that, face interviews. Like, just go sit in any interview that is data science related. Learn a few topics. Go sit in an interview. Give it. Not with the objective of getting the job. Even if it is like, I just want to overcome my fear. Do it. Trying is what builds you. So, yep. Do you have anything to say, Samya? Yep.
Yeah, interviews are a learning in themselves. So do not
Yes.
hesitate to apply and never hesitate from appearing in interview. Please appear wherever you are, however you are. The interviews are hardly 45 minutes to an hour. You can spare that time out. Go attend that interview. Just look at what kind of expectations is the market having from you and prepare accordingly.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I would like to do.
Yeah. See, coming back to the Soumya's point, what is the worst that could happen? The worst is they could say they don't want you, right? And the best is they want you. Or the middle ground would be, we'll let you know. But 45 minutes of embarrassment would get you like 2-3 years of experience. Not even 2-3 years. It'll last. The experience will last your lifetime. It'll help you in all your future projects, in all your future interviews. It'll be a lot, believe me. So facing out interviews is a very, very crucial thing. Don't shy away from facing interviews. Okay. Moving forward, Srinivasan, this question is, I have built this question for you. As a web developer, we have talked about the major skills required to focus on as a beginner. But web development, since it's a very vast field, people tend to, as I was saying, over prepare sometimes. So, what would you say? Ki stick to the basics, or would you say ki choose a particular field? I mean, when I say stick to the basics, do you prefer learning the surface level of almost everything and being open to different varieties of streams, or focusing on a single topic and going in depth? Would you do that? Would you want to go this way, horizontal or vertical? What would you prefer?
That's an interesting question, sir. I would prefer to go with things which we are be very confident first of all. Because in the market, every companies in the development field they may use different technologies frameworks. Coming to the field, things like React.js is the thing where we can develop a website using JavaScript. The same thing coming to Angular.js and Vue.js, where we can build a web page as it is a framework of frameworks which is mostly used JavaScript. But here the thing is what on what we are more confident with. For example, in my case, I'm confident on React.js, where I can build a web page, where I can create a website in a front end UI, and we can deploy into any of the web servers to host it up. But coming to Angular and Vue.js, it depends upon the candidate. For example, if a company requires me to learn Angular or Vue.js as we are changing the whole technology stack, I'm ready to learn the things because everything is similar, but there are something there's the syntax and there are some complexity may of course because the both is are developed by different companies. The React is already developed by Facebook, and Angular belongs to the Google side. There may we may face some difficulties, but my preferred thing is go with the one strict way on which we are confident on. We should not mention that I know this, I know the Angular.js, but I know only bit, only basic. We should not mention in a company interview, or we should not do that. We should be very strict to the thing or on which we are most confident of. It will be helpful uh, to get a good name in the companies, in the market, and everywhere also.
Hmm. Well, for that, I would say it totally depends on your preferences. If you have something already sorted out for yourself, I want to go in this particular stream, then you might focus vertically. You might want to go totally in depth into that topic. But if you want to keep options available, you might even go on a horizontal level and understand major topics, not even depth in depth, but details of major topics, which would allow you to switch from any particular stream to a different stream, right? Coming to the next point, which is since now we have talked about how what skills to master and how do you face the job market, and we've also talked about taking out your interview fear, and also I think it would be good if you could define how Alma better help you in these processes, and for our viewers to understand how this would help. First of all, please define how Alma Better helps you in upskilling. Of course, you've already defined, but just a short description would help. One is how your skills upskilling. Second is taking out your interview fear. And third is how do you put yourself into the job market? How does Alma Better help you in doing all of these things? Soumya, if you would like to go first.
Yeah, sure. So first of all comes preparing yourself with the required skills in the market. So talking about that, they are going to provide the relevant skills which are required in the market. So once you're prepared to enter the placement process, wherein you are expected to practice every day. Probably I have given 3 to 4 interviews in a day, practice interviews, I would say, not the actual ones. I've given 3 to 4 practice interviews in a day because the date wherein I have to give my actual interview was approaching. So I had to faster do my process. yeah, I was asked to practice the interview questions. So, some interviews they expect you to code, to share your screen and code. So I prepared for that every day, practicing around 20 to 30 questions, short questions, not very complex questions, 20 to 30 questions which are generally asked in the interview, so that you can learn to build logics and the same ability you can showcase in your interview. So first of all, practicing your technical skills. Post that, you have to on that particular topic, you are I was expected to give the interview that only day. So I used to give interviews, prepare for the next topic, and this kept on going for around a month or so. Yeah. And then while I was sitting in the actual interview, I just felt that I can giving a practice interview. So this was the level of preparation and what had helped me do. I was not scared during the interview. I was confident that let the question come on me. I prepared so well. But then, yeah, reality is a bit different. But yeah, at least you have the confidence to face the interviews.
Of course, yes. Srinivasan, would you like to go next?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But helpful in very quick way. I would like to mention the projects which we build in Alma better while I was in my learning journey of 7 to 8 months. We have built three projects, which is Alma better projects, front end, one is front end, and two projects which we have built on backend side. On backend side, they will give you only one project. If you have an interest to go with, we can build more projects and we can submit it. And there will be separate expertise for on industrial levels. They will evaluate our project. In front end side, they will evaluate our code base. We need to submit our GitHub profile where we did the project. They will be evaluating our code base in React.js, how how the student has coded, how in which format he has followed the folder structures. Because the folder structures and everything is important when the project goes higher. Complexity of the project is goes higher. For example, if you take the websites like Amazon and every other websites, the complexity of the website is somewhat higher because there will be you take in React, there will be everything in the React is a component. So there will be more component. In such a case, we need to handle the code base in a very build format, build way. So the expertise or evaluating the project, which giving the feedback in such a case, we can improve our skill set. And coming to the backend side, also the while we are submitting to the mentors and expertise for evaluations, they will help you with the basic things. For example, if I'm wrong on the status code or typical status code, they will tell you the basic things. The status code is suspected to client error or server error. You should not mention this in a wrong way in the project. They will be teaching you these basic things also. So in such a case, we can improve our basic knowledge also. And coming to Alma X journey, it's helped me a lot where the business communication sessions and the project and where they pushed me into the coding part. As only already tell you that the coding round is the basic round which every company may give to the candidates. Even if it's an experienced candidate, they may expect the advanced coding rounds. But teaching the DSA concepts where the companies will mostly ask. They will be having a set of questions. In DSA, there will be separate topics, and under separate topics, they'll be having a set of questions. They will be keep on practicing with those questions. And there will be separate mentor who will be associated to your branch and separated to you, where we can raise questions. These questions in the DSA concept is how I can't solve this problem or how to approach it. They will help you in approaching those ways. And the student who not even know the basic things of approaching their questions and problems. The mentors in live class, they will tell you how to approach the questions before that. Approaching the questions in a basic level. When you have started learning the things and practicing on a day by day, it will become a frequent thing. It will be good for us to solve the questions in future or if we practice for more than 1 to 2 months. In such way, they have helped you know more. And coming to interview round, because every fresher while giving an interview may have some fear. In my case, I have moved here, but Alum, there is a separate mentor which is not given to our batch. There will be some other mentors in Alabama. They'll be coming you to attend take the interviews. For example, if you are doing your resume for front-end development or back-end development, depends upon that they were asking you a question. For basic questions like in the problem solving, next to the project, how we need to explain to the interviewer of the company. If they ask question, how you need to handle it. Or they will also train you that if suppose you don't know the answer for the question which is asked in the interviewer, how to tackle that, how we need to answer in such a case without spoiling the session, without spoiling the interview session, how to handle these things. They'll be keeping mostly I have interviewed 4 to 5 companies. Before that giving interview, I had taken 6 to 7 mock interviews in alumni, which helped me a lot. And also there will be business communication coach, which uh, he will be seeing the recorded session of the mock interview and helps to improve our business communication skills. They will give me feedback. This is where you are lagging in the mock interview. So we need to improve these things. Then we keep on noticing, intimating us. In such a case, we can, there is no need to more fear on that things.
That's great. Thank you, Srinivasan. Also, one thing I would like to add in is what Alma Better provides you with is the peer group that you have. You have a lot of people to learn with. Of course, it's a long process. Learning something really well is, of course, almost always a long process. You'll have to dedicate time, and you'll have to dedicate a lot of time actually. So doing it alone sometimes seems not really the best option. But when you're doing it with a group who seem to have the same goal as you, who motivate you, who face challenges with you, it really becomes easier than doing it alone. Now, I think we have we've talked upon almost all concepts of how you can, navigate career path in both data science and web development. Now, I would like to open the forum for questions from our viewers. If guys, if you have any questions, please put in the chat box and I'll answer your questions. We have few questions. How to change my badge? Please someone tell me. Kajal, you can ask it to the other team who will be with us in just a while. So you can ask this question to them. Next question is from Sanjay. I am from BSc Physics background from University of Delhi. I had done my graduation in 2021. Then I had given home tuition to some students and prepared for government exams. Now I want to enter in IT domain. Please guide me. Would any one of you like to answer that? Srinivasan or Soumya?
I would like to go for this because even I come from a totally different background. As in, it is. I was already in a company, but then the kind of work I was doing was totally different. So I would like to say that do not worry from where you are coming. Just worry about where do you want to go. So keep that focus. And here at Alma Beta, you will be taught right from the basics. You need not worry that I do not know this or I do not know coding or I'm not aware about statistics or anything for that matter. You will be taught right from the basics till the point which is expected from you in the interviews. So I guess that is something you don't need to worry. Even before I joined Alpha, I knew nothing about coding. Statistics, sometime in the school or in college, small part of it I would have studied. So yeah, I was also out of track. But then when I joined here, I was taught right from the basics, and it is not going to be a problem. I tell it from my personal experience.
Yep. I really can't talk for that because I have my background in computer science. I've always done this, but I can always vouch that your background does not matter unless you are ready to give your time, unless you're ready to work hard and be consistent with the topics. It is not rocket science. It is totally understandable. It is totally doable. So yes, you can do it, Sanjay. You can, but I've seen a few people like maybe let me call out the names. It is Ankita, I feel. Ankita asks, which career to choose? I would like to answer this. Ankita, I don't know you personally, neither do any one of us. So we can't really answer that question, which career you have to choose. We can give you topics or pointers on why we feel our fields are the best and what skills are required in our fields. That is what we've been doing throughout the podcast. And it is now up to you to decide which category suits you the best. Do you tend to the side where you want to go into data science, which also has multiple subspaces, wherein you can apply for a business analyst or data analyst, a machine learning engineer? Are you really well with your storytelling? Are you really well with data? Are you ready to are you ready to, struggle with data for days on and on? Science is, it is, I think it is beautified a bit, which it isn't. You'll have to work really, really hard. It is a stressful job. You'll have to work through millions of rows of data and get it cleaned and get it presentable. That is what your job is. So do you want to do that? Do you want to go into a field where you design web services, web platforms? This is something for you to decide. What we're trying to do here is we are trying to give you experiences that we have had in our own particular fields, and why we feel and what we feel. That is all we can do. Like, I can't really say, "Ki bhai, this is the best career path for you. Please choose that." It would really be, I would say, it would be injustice to you as well as to the career path. So yes, I think we have done a job as well. If you guys have any other questions, please put it in the chat box. I think, Rudrani, you can ask this question to, as I mentioned, the BD team will still be available with us after our chat. You can ask this question to them. Next question is from Lakshmi. Yes, Soumya.
Then I guess me Vidyasagar is asked which websites to search jobs in data science field.
Yep.
So I guess we have talked about it
Yes.
on platforms.
Vidya, we've already talked about this. You can go through websites like LinkedIn, of course, Naukri, as Soumya mentioned, InstaHire, and there are a few remote working websites as well, remote.co, Wellfound, which is, I think it's now known as angel.co.
Angel.
There are a lot of websites. So you can go through that.
There's a founded.com.
Yes.
Indeed.
Yes. So these are a few websites that you can search through. The basic thing is you'll have to apply well. By well, I mean in a professional way. As Soumya already mentioned, tailoring your CV to each particular job role. This is what you have to do different. Of course, on LinkedIn itself, you'll find hundreds of jobs, but to choose those jobs which suit your proficiency and applying it in a way which would make the job poster to want you, that is the key. Okay, Srinivasan, would you like to answer this? Hop in on this question of which websites to search your jobs on. Is there something different for web services, web development? Is it?
No, sorry, there is not a separate websites for web development and community server platforms, which mostly I to use. And remote, there are some other platforms which may help for a remote job also, that remote.io.
Okay.
Which may help.
Yes.
Yeah. Before applying to that, the candidate or the student ought to keep in mind their resumes and everything as we discussed in these sessions. Just applying is not a good thing because without applying a good resume, any good profiles and bit of profiles and everything, the basic knowledge, they keep on applying, they may get a demotivation. I'm not getting any calls from the company. So I think I'm not good. I'm not a good fit for this stream and job line. So before that, they need to keep in mind the things which we have discussed in the session. The resume and knowledge and everything want to be very good and precise for.
Great. We have another question from Lakshmi Krishna, which is aptitude necessary for an interview? Would you like to answer that, Soumya?
Yeah. So aptitude, the basic aptitude which we all have within, that is always important. Not the questions of what to say, cat level questions or any, um, all those are not necessary. The basic aptitude which is required within us, the critical thinking, which I would say, able to
Yes.
solve the basic mathematics and knowing the little basic formulas, being at in mathematics or anywhere. So yeah, nothing like you need to know to solve those aptitude questions. They may come for some interviews, not sure, but I was not asked in my interviews because I was not a fresher. So they may be asked, but very basic, nothing to worry
Mhm.
about. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I would
all.
also vouch in for this. Aptitude, as Soumya already mentioned, it is not usually asked for experienced people. Aptitude questions are usually, given to freshers or beginners to understand their thinking level, to understand their logical reasoning, to understand how well they are to deal with new scenarios, completely different. Of course, if I ask you, you have been preparing for data science roles and data science questions for like past 2 3 months. If I ask you what is machine learning, of course I know you will answer. But what I also know is, if I ask you some tricky question which is related to aptitude, you might stutter. You might, panic. You might go, you might become nervous and you might give wrong answers. That is what interviewers do. They try to understand how well you perform under pressure. So I think, Lakshmi, as a beginner, aptitude is necessary. Having the critical thinking, as I mentioned, it is very, very important. But it is not really that's something that you'll have to prepare for. It is just general aptitude that you will have to have. I think that answers the question. Srinivasan, do you want to answer that?
Yes, I would like to tell that the actuary is an important thing, but they won't be giving you a JE question or something, gate exam questions kind of thing. Basically,
Yeah.
coming to the development side, they will test you if you are fit for the role or not in the first round. Depends upon the programming way. They'll give you a basic coding question, how you are approaching it. You can use any number of programming language. That is up to you. But the interviewer give you a basic question. They will evaluate you from the base. If you are good on that basic question, they will try to put up on the next 1 to 2 questions, which is intermediate level question, which is somewhat difficult. And in this way, they will check you your aptitude. Apart from that, they won't be giving you your mathematical questions or some other type of questions. This is the way in development side they mostly test. I don't know if you data analysis in that kind of thing.
Nice. Okay. I think we don't have. Do we have any question? Okay. Same question again from Lakshmi. I have completed full stack development course, but now I'm switching to data science. But still, I'm doing practice on it. What kind of project would improve my resume? Lakshmi, are you asking about projects that support web development, or are you asking data science? If you could type in there itself.
I guess she's switching to data science. So probably I'm guessing
Yep.
maybe what projects to do for data science.
Would you like to answer that, Samir? Oh no, she
So
means full stack. He or she. Lakshmi, okay,
okay,
Srinivasan, you
full
would be the
stack.
right person to
Yeah.
ask.
Yes,
So
sure.
this person has already completed the full stack course and is now switching to data science, but also wants to know what type of web development or full stack projects would enhance their profile.
Uh,
This is a
if
real good thing that you're doing, Lakshmi. Just Srinivasan, give me a minute. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Yes, sure.
Knowing both the fields are really, really helpful. When people know ki you already have full stack expertise, but you also want to go into a machine data science field, machine learning engineering can be a real good option for you, which requires both data science fundamentals and software engineering fundamentals. So yep. See, this is a real good thing that I would also like to pursue. So yeah, go ahead, Srinivas.
Yes, sir. Yeah, what I like with the candidate is if you are looking for a project in a you can complete the project which is given in Alum itself. Because in every company, they won't select you, depends upon the project. If you have only 5 to 10 projects, you'll be selecting you. But you need to be very clear on the project which you did. It may be at least 2 to 3 projects is also good enough. I think if you are in Alum, they will giving you one front-end project and back-end project. Apart from that, you can take your own interest on completing one more front-end and back-end project, which may help you. They'll be giving you totally 3 to 4 projects in front-end and back-end. You need to submit only one project in front-end and back-end. If you are very interested to go move further, you can do one more front-end project and back-end project, which may help you. But you should not think that keeping more project in a resume or profile, which may help me. You should be, as a fresher, you should be keeping in mind the project which you have mentioned in your resume or LinkedIn GitHub profile, it will be at least 3 or 4. Minimum, I should say 3 to 4 is good enough. You should be very aware of those things. If you need to do their own things, you should not, if you get help with friends or colleagues and brothers, that's fine. But you need to work on those things. You're able to answer the questions which are raised by the interviewer from the project which you have completed. This is the important thing which I like to mention.
Srinivasan, apart from Alma Beta projects, just define what are the different types of web development projects. Like in machine learning, we have supervised, unsupervised, maybe classification, clustering. Can you define a few of these main topics that Lakshmi can work on?
Actually, in the development side, you won't have a name to a particular project team. But what I like to mention is you can take in a website like you can build a sample Amazon website or Flipkart shopping site, or you can go to education websites like education platform like Byju's. They may have a different type of web page. The page which is compared to the education website and the shopping website is totally different. If you are interested in those things, you can build such a things in basic level. If you, it is very difficult to go with, but if you are able to, you are interested, you can go with that types of website. And if you are hosted in some previous zero cost of servers, it will be very attraction to the interviewers if you did their own things by you. There is no need to complete the whole website. Like Flipkart, I'm clicking a product, you need to go to a cart. That is the basic stuff which you need to do. But there is no need to implement a payment gateway and everything.
I think that answers your question, Lakshmi. Ritik has a question. What are the positions or roles I can apply for after completing my data science course? Soumya, you would be the right person.
Yeah. So after data science course, you're open to several positions. Business analyst, data analysts. Probably if you learn a bit further, pipelining and stuff, then you're open to data engineering as well. You can apply for data science, of course, machine learning engineers. Yeah, these are a few common rules. Then it depends on different company to company. What designation do they offer? Different names for the same job. Yeah, these are the whole, I would say, the positions you can apply.
Yeah. I think that answers your question, Ritik. It's basically data scientist, data analyst, business analyst, or data engineer, machine learning engineer, data architect, which is now a new thing. It is not a new thing. It has boomed up recently, data architect. And of course, all sorts of seniority levels in these particular roles is what you can apply to. I think we have no more questions. Narendra, you would like to switch?
Yes. Vidur, you can take the session.
Cool. Thank you, guys.
Right. Hi, guys. Good afternoon to all. Yeah, I'll just quickly share my screen and we'll be covering a couple of things here. Okay. So, yes, I believe we have covered this, right, Narendra?
Yes, like you can go to those last slides about Alma Beta.
Right. Okay, right. So about Alma Beta, basically, how would I describe it is a student-centric platform, okay, where we have around more than 7 lakh and 50,000 learners, okay, and in the community platforms altogether. So I believe it was at one point terms as as the largest data science community platform all over India. Right, a community first learning platform where students can study in groups. Okay, there will be cohort learning in groups. You will be able to learn from each other, motivate each other, push your limits and boundaries, and help each other in building projects as well as a team. So that will also help you to understand the roles that in real life, when you will be working as a professional, how you can manage and work together as a team. Right, at the same time, it is a platform where students will get ready for jobs by networking with industry professionals, mentors, and our alumni, right? Following that, I'm sure that you might be having a couple of questions in your mind, like why Alma Better, which is really a great question. So to cover that, I would like to add here a couple of points that Alma Better is more of a industry relevant curriculum covering topics, which of course I'll be showing you when we'll be having a quick 5 minutes website walkthrough as well. We have 100 plus live classes with a lifetime access to all the recorded lectures. So the classes which we have are more of a live lectures, and the recordings are also provided. So in case students who are working professional, but their time schedule is different, it is suitable for them as well. 20 plus capstone projects along with 1,000 plus coding problems and assessments. Okay, one thing I'd like to add here, that is the capstone project. Okay, the term capstone basically means that you'll be working on real-time data, right? Industry relevant data to be more precise. So it's not just project that you'll be learning from some textbook or theoretically, but you'll be actually working on real-time data that will be giving you more of a hands-on experience. Okay, and along with that, you'll be getting 1,000 plus coding problems and assessments to practice and improve there, right? We will also be covering live doubt resolution sessions along with one-on-one mentorship sessions, right? So this basically means during a live lecture, whenever you have a doubt, whenever there's a certain topics that you'll be going through studying, and I'm sure that you'll be having more than a couple of hundred of doubts, which will be great, by the way. So you will be able to address those doubts in real-time manner through our live doubt resolution sessions. So directly you can ask your doubts there, and our instructor moderator will be more than happy to address those doubts, right? And one-on-one mentorship sessions will be conducted as well, where you'll be connecting with our mentors. Okay. So our mentors are more than 7 plus 10 years of experience in the same IT domain, respective to data science and web development. So having the rich experience, they will be able to guide you much more efficiently in your career path, which role will be suitable, which company you should be approaching, what package expectations you should be having, certain things like that, where we at times might get confused after our learning journey, right? For that also, we will be preparing you with more than 50 plus mock interviews with a dedicated career coach, right? So you'll be going through actual mock interviews where you'll be able to understand how the companies ask certain questions and how you should be addressing those questions in an interview, right? And at the same time, a dedicated career coach is a person who will be there to guide you all the time, to help you understand which job role, which offers you should be expecting, accepting, rejecting, holding on for a minute, right? And better opportunities that might come in the future. So a dedicated career coach will play that role. Okay. And of course, that goes without saying, we do offer 100% job assurance with our 700 plus hiring partners.
Going out here is just like the Bay Area. The thing about Bangalore is there's so many different street dogs. Alas, I finally found some authentic.
Okay. Moving on, we have learning activities. Okay. For technical skills, we'll be covering live lectures, lab experiments, projects and assessments, group discussions, and business communication and technical storytelling as well. I'm sure these 3 to 4 things might be covered, okay, and you might be aware of it by the terminology itself. But let me just cover this business communication and technical storytelling, what exactly it means. So business communication is where you will be able to understand how you can, address certain things, like say telephonic conversation, okay, interviews or writing mails, okay, where you might feel that, okay, I do understand English, but I'm not that confident. okay, because I haven't practicing for a certain time. So that is where we come in and we help you to boost your confidence with business communication, and your language in terms of English will be much more profound, okay, along with technical storytelling. Okay, for motivation and industry exposure, we will be offering one-on-one mentorship sessions. Okay, we'll be having definitely guest lecturers. Okay, we'll be having community participant and also learn industry leadership principles. Okay, so we will be covering the community platform and industry, everything on the website as well. So not to worry, I will be covering that too. Okay, mandatory for alumni. If you plan to do the program, to pursue the course and start your career in the data science and web development domain respectively, I'm sure that you might be having a couple of questions that might come to your mind, that I come from a non-technical background. Oh, I'm coming from commerce. I come from a pharmacy background. I don't know anything about coding or any technical terminologies or anything. That is completely fine. We will be teaching you everything from ground level to the advanced, and post that the decision is completely up to you. If you want to get a guarantee job from us, if you wish to get a job from us, then in order to go for that, you just need to complete the capstone projects, a competency test, and a ABCAT test. Okay. Okay, we have more than 700 plus hiring partners. Okay, and companies like Amazon, Uber, okay, Target, Polygon, KPMG, Grow, Accenture, okay, HDFC Bank, and from startup growths to high MNCs as well, we have got onboarded with them. Okay, so they are our hiring partners. Okay, so you can see the salary distribution of Alma Better comparatively, and students who can expect, okay, for graduates. So we do offer a package anywhere between 5 to 7 LPA for students, okay, and the most average package that we have for the majority freshers graduates are around 37%, with a package of 8 to 9 LPA, which is really great compared to the market industry, right? And definitely this is all subjective to your individual dedication and performance, guys, as well. Okay, I cannot expect just joining the program and doing nothing and expecting to get a guarantee job with, let's say, 5, 10 or 15 LPA. Definitely I need to put in my hard work, give my time, dedication towards it, and yeah, the seed that I plant will always come in the future for me to reap as well, right? Okay, so these are our success stories, where basically students and who have joined a program, completed and got a job from us. So these are the success stories of them, how they joined the program, how was the learning journey, at what company and what role they are currently at. Okay, and yes, to answer your question as well, they do come from a non-technical background as well. Okay, so at any given point, if you feel you want to connect with, let's say, Rohan, okay, we have also added their LinkedIn profile. So you can just go there and connect with them on LinkedIn, and you can ask and communicate on their learning journey and what all concerns you would like to address if you want to ask before joining the program, right? I would like to make you meet our instructors and mentors. Okay, so Rachit Jain is a data scientist with the company BCG. Okay, we have Ravi Ranjan as again a data scientist. Okay, we have San De as a data science consultant at Walmart. Okay, Ekta Maheshwari at Accenture. Okay, who is taking a role as a lead data scientist. Okay, and similarly we have rest of the folks. So the list is quite big, and you can find the same on our website too. Okay, now let me just take you through the website. Okay, one thing I'd like to add here, that is we have recently collaborated with IIT Guwahati, and that is a part of ENICT, which is recognized by the Indian government body as well. Okay, in education. Okay, coming to the certification in full stack data science program, this will be basically a 6 months part-time program with online classes, and of course you will be having an additional recorded lectures, pre-recorded lectures too. The content will be available. To answer your question, which majority of our students come with, is that I come from a commerce background, I come from a pharmacy background, I come from a science, arts, engineering, dental, law background. I have no experience whatsoever. I have no knowledge. That is completely fine. Okay. We will be teaching you everything from ground level to advanced. And that is why we have mentioned it. There is no specific requirement of coding experience required before joining the program, because we'll be covering everything from the ground level itself. Okay. And of course, this is much more suitable for final years graduates and early professional. Okay. Definitely, if you would like to join the program and you're in the first year, second year of your learning, of your graduation, I would definitely pursue you. But in this case, the job part won't be coming into the picture, because that is more suitable for our final year graduates and working professionals. Okay. So we have covered from our instructors who will be teaching you. They are coming from the top 1% of the leading tech companies. Okay. You can call them as companies like Fang or Mang, Google, Meta, okay, Amazon, Microsoft, Netflix, right? And yeah, this is our success stories. Okay. I'm sure that you have already met with Soumya. And okay, curriculum, we won't be diving depth into it, but yes, we'll be covering, like I said, from the very introduction ground level to the advanced part as well. Okay. Now here you have the option to go and choose the program that you wish to pursue. If you plan to get some additional add-ons and help you get benefited with numerous benefits throughout your life, then I would recommend you can go with IIT Guwahati, because being an IITian and being a part of IT gives you a lot of additional benefits in terms of getting an early job. You can easily negotiate on your salary, a higher salary expectations, and also growth opportunity. Okay, but of course, if you planning to just learn and at the same time you just want to get a guarantee job, you can also go for a Alma Better premium program. Okay. The Almax program covers everything that is required for a student to get a guarantee job in the industry in the field of data science and web development. Okay, so that is where we'll be covering business communication, resume building, more than 50 plus mock interviews, okay, coding and technical revision. And yeah, this is what we'll be covering basically in the Almax career services, for which after once you get a job and you start earning, that is when you pay us back for the career services, which basically terms the coin, uh, learn, earn, and return. Okay, so this is where you'll come in once you learn and you start earning, only then you pay us back. So, i.e., the pay after placement concept. Okay. We have our hiring partners as well. Okay. Which is 700 plus, like you can see Capgemini, JP Morgan, Chase & Co, Accenture, EXL, Tiger Analytics, and many more. Okay, these will be your educators and mentors, okay, coming from the same industry relevant background. So working professionals will be teaching you in real time. Okay, so they will be having an actual current industry experience, so they will be able to guide you much more efficiently. Okay. And similarly, if you plan to go with the IIT Guwahati program, you will be getting some additional add-on benefits as well, like a 2-day campus immersion program at IIT Guwahati, which is completely optional, an extension for Almax of 6 months additional, some lectures from IIT Guwahati faculty, okay, and of course, without saying, an advanced certification from ENICT Academy and IIT Guwahati, okay. Right, so this is pretty much that we are offering. Okay, and definitely I would urge you all to go through the website once, and if you would like to talk in more depth about your background and how your learning journey would look like, you can always click here and request a call back, and our counseling team will get back to you at the earliest. Okay, you can see the pricing between the premium program of Alma Better and the iconic, which is Alma Better plus IIT Guwahati. Okay. Similarly, we have this very same concept, and every roadmap is the same for our program in web development. Okay, full stack web development, and we have also our offering master's program in data science and computer science. Okay, so there are numerous outcomes as being a data scientist. You can be a data scientist, business analyst, product analyst, okay, data engineer, and a lot of other roles, responsibilities you can play. Similarly, going into the web development domain, it will lead you to more than many opportunities and crucial roles that you can play as a front-end developer, back-end developer. Okay, you can be a Node.js developer, and different roles that you can play and contribute in a company. Okay, you can go into cloud computing if you are more interested there. Okay, your interest is more inclined towards that, right? And this is much what our certifications would look like. Okay, so this is something that your certificate look like once you join the program, and you'll be getting each certificate will be provided after completion of each module. So you will be getting a lot of benefits there as well. Okay, I would like to now understand if we have any questions.
Vidur, we have 2 questions in Q&A and 2 in chat window.
Okay. Okay, okay, I'll just check. I am from MSc in mathematics, passed out in 2016 and teaching since then. Which course do I to go in? Okay, that's a great question, Ankita. I would recommend here one thing, basis on your interest, please try to understand that which interest are you more inclined towards, like what is specifically you're looking to start your career or build your career in the future, right? If you're much more inclined towards being a part of the tech world and being a part of the future, definitely data science, web development, and IT will be much more beneficial for you. Right, data science and web development, full stack developer. Okay, this is another great question that we get a lot of times. To answer it in a very basic layman term, I would ask you to question yourself first. Are you comfortable with mathematics, and how good are you with your communication skill set? If you're comfortable with mathematics and you are much more interested in data mathematics, I would recommend you can go towards data science. However, if you feel okay, I'm interested in website and blockchain and things like that, okay, cyber, computer, cloud computer, and I'm not comfortable that much with mathematics, then of course you can go with web development. Okay. What else? Okay, we have Q&A. I believe we have covered this. I'm completed in course now. I'm switching to data science. Okay. There will be numerous projects that will be benefiting you, and the more projects that you'll do, that will be an additional add-on as a benefit for companies to recruit you in much short span of time. Lakshmi. Okay. Ritik has a question. What position roles I can apply after completing my data science role? That is a great question. Data science field itself is a very vast field. Okay, there is the engineering part. You can be a data engineer, okay, cloud engineer, big data engineer. If you're planning to go more into the analytical part, more like an investigating and being a detective, you can be a data analyst, business analyst, product analyst. Okay, and similarly, there are a lot of outcomes that depends upon the role that you wish to pursue ahead. Okay, like the interest that you are inclined towards.
Vidur, we have one question from Sai Kiran in chat window. He's from mechanical engineering background. He has one question.
Sai
Kiran, like before Ankita question.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a graduate in mechanical engineering, passed out in 2007. What career would be good for me as I'm 37-year-old and to do not have any coding background? My career is not consistent and have career breaks. I have worked in engineering service teaching and customer field support. I've enrolled in Alma Beta data science program. Shall I continue with the same program or switch to software development program? Please suggest me. Right. So Sai Kiran, to give you an example here, okay, since you have already joined the data science program, I would urge you, and I would definitely want you to complete the program. Why? Because having small set of information is always dangerous than having no information or all the information, right? Once you're started, we it is our duty to complete that as well, right? And once you complete the data science program, what you'll be getting from it will be numerous knowledge, okay, technical knowledge in terms of coding, how to use technical programming languages, and a certain set of skill set. Okay, to give you a small summary, guys, what I've personally experienced in the market, it's all about the experience and knowledge that you have and the skill set that you bring to the table. Your background won't be much relevant there. Okay, so it is as simple as giving a small example here. If you are hiring a carpenter or a plumber, I'm sure that you won't be asking the carpenter, ki, what is your educational background, right? You'll be just asking that this is my requirement XYZ and I need to get it completed within XYZ time, right? So you only see that the carpenters has a certain set of skill set, certain set of knowledge that will be helpful for you to build a cupboard, bed, etc. Okay. Similarly, in the same uh, methodology, this is applicable in real time in the all industries, especially tech as well. Okay, so in the tech background as well, in the IT domain, companies refer and prefer students and working professionals who have a very good skill set. Okay, so if let's say I have a person being a company or a recruiter, I have a one student who has applied for the designation and a role of data analyst. Okay, who's coming from BCom background, and the skill set and everything, if I rank him, let's say around 97%. Okay, and on the other hand, I have a person who's coming from BSc IT. Okay, and that person's performance and everything altogether, if I rank it at, let's say 95% or 90%. As a recruiter, what do you think? Who would I go with? Can we just mention that in the chat so I can see how many people are you? You all are actually smart enough to understand this question, because this is really a tricky one, and I'm sure that it will be quite fun to understand and go through it. Okay, yeah, to reveal the answer, as a recruiter, I will go with the student who has done the program with a 97 percentage and has the great skill set, regardless of his background coming from BCom. I know that if I give him a task, a project, at the end of the day, he will be able to complete and give it to me, okay, in a much more efficient manner and at the earliest. Okay, so that is all matters is the skill set, knowledge, and your technical programming skills. Okay, yeah. Binu says that I'm a student of BTech Computer Science. I have a question. Yes, Binu Kumari, you can ask the question. Okay. Meanwhile, guys, anyone else has any different question? Anything that I will be more than happy to address to.
Vidur, one question from Kajal Kumari in Q&A. How to change my badge? Please, someone tell me. Like, she wants to change her badge.
Yes. Okay, so yes, you can change your cohort, change your batch by either raising a ticket and our support team will do the needful, or you can also go on our live support platform where our support team is available from 11:30 to 8:30, okay, from Monday to Saturday. So you can just join a table, and in the how may I help you table, you can just join there and you can simply just address, I would like to change my cohort to the upcoming one, which is on probably XYZ date. Okay, and we will do the needful. Okay, Yogita says, I'm a fresher. Will I be placed in the company as a fresher or an experienced candidate after joining and completing the program? Okay, yes, Yogita, to answer your question, we do offer a job, and we will get you, and we will ensure that you get a job and you get placed, okay, with one of the finest companies in the tech. Okay, at the same time, I would just like to add one thing here, that in Alma Better, we believe in transparency. Okay, so we do not offer some certification, some experience letter, which is not actually true in nature. But yes, in the resume, we will be adding some experience that you have worked on real-time projects, real-time data. So those things will be considered and will be coming under the capstone projects. That will give you an additional weightage to your resume. Okay. But yeah, to answer your question, you will be considered as a fresher, but with certain benefits. Okay. Sir, what are do we better to learn as web developer and robotics? Okay, if you're planning to learn web development, okay, or you would like to be a web developer and go into the robotics field as well, my basic recommendation here would be start from the very scratch itself. If you jump directly on an advanced topic, you will be confused and you'll be asking yourself, what comes before this? What comes after that? Who will be there to address my concern? Right. So what exactly all students of our need, and basis on our students' need, we have structured and made the curriculum in such a manner that there'll be a proper roadmap. Okay, and there'll be a proper structured way that will be helping you throughout each and every step of your learning journey. Okay, so at any given point, being a fresher professional, having little or no experience, at any given point, if you're stuck with any concept, any concerns, we will be there to help you out. Okay, we'll be there to help you out and go further. Okay, right. Narendra, we have any more questions? Do you have morning batches for data science master's program? My working hours are from 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. So I am unable to attend live lectures regularly and could not complete the program activities on time. Okay. Right. Namaste, Kiran. One thing that we do offer here, and which is really the most beautiful part that I've actually witnessed in my entire life, okay, compared to any other platform, that is, we are not forcing our students to attend the live lectures in order to go for the placement program. That is the alumni. If you are a working professional having different time schedules, okay, you can complete the course at your own pace, watch the lectures and the recordings of the live lectures at your own pace. Okay, we have a dedicated doubt resolution forum, community platform, live support, okay, to address all your doubt and concerns. So you will be able to learn at the same time as you're working as a professional. Okay, and after definitely 6 to master's program is around 15 months. So definitely after completing the program of 6 months, your foundation track, and then your 3 months of specialization track, you will be having the option to go for the almax program, that is the placement program. Okay, so that is something which is very much manageable and is dependent upon you, how much you're dedicated and how much you're interested to shift your career towards the data science domain. Right. Any more questions we have, guys? If we have completed these. Okay. We have a couple of 2 questions more. When do we complete module 1, and for projects, who will guide us? Okay. The first module, okay, in each of the 6 modules that you'll be going through, there'll be subtopics as well that you'll be covering. Okay, so altogether, once you complete each subtopic, your one of the module will be completed, and for which you'll be getting a certification as well on the competency test to complete the module that you've completed, and for the capstone projects that you have completed as well. Okay, and for the projects, who will guide us? So in the projects part, you can always get some guidance from our instructors, moderators, if you wish to. We have our subject matter experts as well, SMEs, who have, let's say, 5 to 7 years of experience in the respective domain of data science and web development. So they are also available on our live support platform. If you want some generic help, our Alma Beta team, support team is also there. So they will be able to guide you. Mentorship sessions you can also avail. Okay. And yeah, coming to the project part, you have 2 options. Either you can complete the project as an individual, you can do it on your own, or if you wish to be a part of a group and participate equally, you can do a group project as well. So that is completely up to you. Okay. So what will be the strength of the batch? A very good question, Yogita. So the batch strength, okay, for each batch that we have, Okay, that is anywhere we have around active around 80 to 100 students. Okay, of course, definitely some students join in the first week to understand and to see how the feel of the program is, where to submit the projects, where I can attend the live lectures, where I can address my concerns. And after a certain point of time, there are few students who complete the course at their own given time, because there are college students, working professionals. There are some students who complete the course in a shorter span of time. They jump really quickly and they are able to, dedicate more time towards it. They are able to give, let's say, around 5 to 8 hours daily. So in that time also they'll be going as per their pace. Okay, but yeah, to answer your question, there'll be around 80 to 100 active students in each batch, and the number will always be fluctuating as well, like -5, -10 as well. What else, guys? Okay. All right. I think we have completed everything. I believe, Narendra, we are left with anything that is yet to cover, or we are missing something?
No, like we'll share them this coupon code.
Right. Right. So yeah, guys, okay, just hide this.
Next slide.
Okay, so for the students who are planning to join the program and who are interested to join the program, definitely I would urge you to first connect with the counseling team and address all and each and every question that you have in your mind. Not a single doubt you should be having while thinking to pursue the program. Once you have decided, okay, now I'm ready, I'm more than ready to give my time and dedication and commitment towards this program and this field, because I want to make my career in data science or web development. Post that, if you plan to join the program, you can always use a coupon code as AMA15. It's an early bird discount that you'll be getting, and 50% off on the pricing. Okay, we have covered the Q&A, and thank you so much, guys, for joining, and I hope you have a lovely weekend ahead.
Thank you, Syed. Thank you, Soumya. Thank you, Vidur.
Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
everyone.
Thank you, everyone, for joining. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you,
it
guys,
was
for
a
listening to
great
us.
session.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Narendra,
everyone.
for setting this up. Thank you, Soumya, and thank you, Srinivasan. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone. Coupon code is AMA15 Ankita. AMA15. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining. Bye-bye.